Hello everyone and welcome to the channel, AirborneErnesto. We're checking out a game that released, we're a little behind, August 3rd, 2022. Recording time of this video is August 13th. So a little late to the game, but it is definitely a title I wanted to check out. It's called Valor, available on Steam. I believe it's still early access, or it just came out of, actually it just came out of early access. Early access release date would have been July 13th, 2018. So plenty of time has passed, but now, as of August 3rd, fully released on Steam. And just to give you an overview of what the developers have described it as, it's a space action RPG that puts you in control of your own spaceship in Destiny. You can explore a vast open world procedurally generated as you make your way from a nobody to becoming the biggest name in the galaxy. So long story short, you start with a little ship, depending on how you want to start the game. And it is kind of like an open sandbox roguelike. You can hire mercenaries. You can end up getting your own crew with multiple pilots and co-pilots for whatever spaceship you decide to fly around the galaxy. So I've played for a little bit. I've played for probably about 5 or 6 hours. So by no means am I an expert in this title, but I figured I'd give you a little overview and just let you know my thoughts on the current state of the game. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a look at the settings menu here. So you have a few options, mostly just kind of ease of use for how enemies and allies show up in the game. You can turn on friendly fire. Thought it was a little odd that that's in the options, but I figured that'd be a game option. But I guess if you can change it in real time in game, that might be a positive. Video, pretty much just be able to set your resolution, graphics, that type of stuff. There's no advanced graphics, so you're just gonna have to choose from your presets. And then you can turn your VSync on or off and target frame rate. And then you have your basic audio and keyboard and mouse controls, and it looks like you can assign a controller to this. I have not played with a controller, so I would not be able to tell you how well the mapping works for that. Essentially, when you start the game, I'm not going to go through the beginning of the game just so that you guys are a little up to speed quicker, but if this is something that you'd want to see a Let's Play on with episodes in the future, just go ahead and put a comment in the comment sections letting me know what kind of updates you guys want for this title. So I'm going to go ahead and click load game. This one shows about an hour and a half play. I played another one before this, but I kind of messed up and got myself into crippling debt, you know, so very realistic. You can deal with that type of depression in game too. So I'm going to go ahead and hit load game. Visually, this is what the game looks like. You control a little spaceship, and you can change the control options to either be steer mode with keyboard, which is a little tough to aim. I use steer mode mouse, and then you use your WASD keys to turn. You can do little flips to avoid contact with projectiles and enemy ships. And I do have one mercenary hired. However, I have them set to auto dock when I go to a star station. And you can change roles and behaviors with that, but I'm going to go ahead and just hit launch so that you can see them. I think the level here is 5. I believe that's what that means, but you can hail that ship and end escorts or whatnot. You can actually find mercenaries in your map, and there is not, oh, there's a mercenary hideout up here, but you'd be able to go there and there'll just be some ships like this hanging out, and you can hail them and hire them, and they take a percentage of your payment. So brief overview of the beginning. You and a buddy pretty much find this old ship and take it while a bunch of other people are looking for this ship too, because it has some ancient items on it or ancient weaponry. So you find a way to get rid of it with some form of payment, if that makes sense. So you can choose, I think, 3 different beginnings. There are factions in the game, and you can choose to begin, you know, with a general, just open faction. You can be a part of like the merchant band, or a medley of other options. I chose to just do the basic option because I wanted to get into a ship right away, and you get a little money. If you guys have played the Star Wars, oh gosh, what's it called? I can't even remember the space fighting game that they have, like the fleet fighting game. But essentially, if you've played like Elite Dangerous or that Star Wars game, you have different kind of hotkey controls with Q, E, and R, where you can change the power levels of each one of those things, and it affects your energy regeneration. Holding shift, you can lower those down to 100 if you want to, or whatever. But holding shift does allow you to get a little bit of a boost if you're flying around. There's going to be several starports that you can dock at. I've changed my button to, I think, G. Yep. And there's mission boards, so you can do really simple missions where, for example, this one is just obtain cobalt, and you can bring it to another station, and you get paid for that, and you get some reputation for this area. You can eliminate pirates, etc., etc. You can go to the academy. You can hire additional co-pilots or pilots based on the fleet that you have set up. That's in the academy tab. Contacts. Essentially, with that, if I've hit my map to tab, but if you didn't know where these jump gates were, for example, and you didn't want to fly around this map and find it, you'd be able to go into contacts and just buy them. They're fairly cheap, so that might be worth it. But trade. So each station will have different items to trade, organized by weapons, equipment, and goods. And you can also buy ships through here too. It does give you a little compare option for the ship that you have based on what you can purchase. And then goods, obviously. You can get marked prices based on your level, and take it to other stations and make money that way if you want to be a trader, for example. So in the hangar tab, that's what you have available to you. So this is what I have in my stock. And then these are the weapons that I have mounted. So as you can see, I have 3 hard point mounting locations, but I only have 2 assigned right now, which is just a laser and a mining laser. This is the, I believe, default ship if you take the quickest route in the beginning. It's a decent ship. I have yet to purchase another one so far. But if you go to your equipment, you'll see that I have 20 points for that, and I've used 17. I did upgrade my reactor because my energy level was going down because I had additional shields and stuff like that and thrusters that I added. So I did add a reactor. And then I did add the warp drive too, so that you can warp to nearby areas. For example, it looks like I have a delivery mission over here. If I was within this area of this bubble, I would be able to go in there. Oh, somebody's getting attacked. I think a civilian ship actually just took out an enemy there. And you'll see that there are 2 major factions. It's essentially like the human race and then an alien race. And eventually you can join in the Civil War, or I guess not really Civil War at that point, and go that route if you wanted to, you know, get into the full details of that. I did add a spotlight too. You'll notice that you'll go to some locations where they're going to be very dark planets, and you're going to want a light to navigate those locations. What else do we have? So this ship, for example, has 1 co-pilot slot, and I believe that my level increases or decreases these efficiencies. I'm sure if I added a co-pilot, that would assist with that. You can craft in this game. These are the known crafting items that I have. So upgrade kits, base components. You need a lot of base components for most of your upgrades. So you can go out to debris fields and find scrap metal and the like, and build these items based on what you have in your cargo here. And then you can use those to build, for example, a missile launcher or different codexes. And then you can organize those by, what type as well. Blueprints, ship enhancements. These are just your tiered enhancements that you have available to you. So you can build those as well, and you have 3 slots on this particular ship. Other than that, it doesn't look like I have a whole lot more to talk about. I can have 2 passengers on this ship, and then I do have 1 mercenary, like I said earlier, in my fleet, but I can have up to 5 ships in my fleet as well. So he actually is probably more powerful than me at this point. But we can go and maybe check out some of the gameplay. I'm going to go ahead and warp over to this location, and then let's just do this delivery job here. For example, I have gotten a pretty decent... These guys are fighting each other. I'm not sure who the knights are. But now my mercenary seems to be having issue with him. And this guy's weapon system looks like it's gone down. Let's go back to closer to the star station here. What I was going to show you is I've traded enough with the Syndicate and done enough quests to where they are now shown as allies. That's why you'll see on my mapping system green ships. That's what that means. And then Red Skull Pirates, you start off with a pretty low, or I guess pretty high hostility rating with them. So maybe you don't want to warp in there. And then it shows the different power levels of each location. So this would be like a 7. But this one that we're going to be going to up here is a 5. So let's go ahead and warp over to this location, which shows pitch black. This might give us an example of how dark some of these look. So if I didn't have my light on, it would look like this. It doesn't look like the light does much, but it actually does help if you're going through debris fields. And it looks like we don't have any major things to do here. Let's go check out the mercenary area just so you can take a look at what that looks like. And I will up my thrusters so we can get there a little faster. As you can see, my energy level depletes faster and does not regenerate as fast either. You also have heat in this game with your weapons, so if I were to sit here and shoot and run both weapons at the same time, you'll see here my heat meter rising. It's not rising very fast right now just because I don't have a lot of energy going into the weapons control right now. You can hold space to air brake. These are some asteroids. I do have a perk that allows me to see kind of what's in each asteroid, so you'll see the likelihood of my blue crystal presence in here is very poor. You just hover over each item to select it. That includes ships as well. But it looks like all these are very poor. This one's poor, so this is a little better. So you can use different weapons to attack. I do have a mining laser though, so that would be the most efficient way to deal with this. And if my heat levels are good, sometimes I'll throw in a couple extra regular light lasers to hit. And you will see once this asteroid is destroyed, you'll get gray ore. So we did not get a blue crystal, but we do now have this gray ore. You can hit G again to go into what you have available. It looks like it's just a metal you can take to a refinery and possibly get other types of metal through that. But these other ones don't look like they have anything, so we're going to go ahead and skip that. The mercenary will run into asteroids. They're not the greatest AI options available right now. Alright, so here's a mercenary hideout, and it looks like we have 1 mercenary available. So if I were to hover over that mercenary and hit hail, oh, we got a red skull. And our mercenary just took him out. Blue holocron. I do not know what that is. Let's take a look. Oh, okay, yep. So this is just one of the items that you can scrap, and it gives you your tech level increase. So I guess I should probably mention that at this point. So we do have a skill hotkey here, character hotkey. These are the different skill progression trees that you can go into. Things like, you know, are you going to be primarily focusing on a fleet? Do you want trading, exploration, if you just want to go full combat, or engineering for crafting and stuff like that. A knowledge tab. So the tech level is important because that's what's going to allow you to install and scavenge and craft better equipment. You do have to have a higher tech level to use certain items. So I always just go ahead and scrap the items that I do get, rather than sell them, for example, for a profit. Looking to level up. So it shows experience by area. So you can see that I'm friendly with a syndicate. So I do get 3% better prices, and then like repair costs and services are 10% cheaper. You start off hostile with the Red Skull Pirates unless you join them in the beginning, and then you're kind of neutral with most of these people. The Terra are kind of the human race, and then the Vangi are the alien race, and this is the war that you can get in the middle of, depending on whose side that you choose with. I have a negative side with the Children of Terra because one of their ships ran into me, and then we essentially got in a battle because of it, and I lost 50 points with them because they didn't get happy about that. So let's hail this. So I do have myself in the mercenary, so I could intimidate these guys and see if I can get anything out of them. I have a 70% chance to do so, or I could hire them as an escort. And if I do that, you'll see he wants 125 units of money up front, and then he wants to take 30% of the money we plunder. Right now, I'm already losing, it looks like 41% to this mercenary here. So obviously, my cut would be the lowest of the three if I took this mercenary on, but it just gives you a basic rundown of the weapons that they have, armor and shield. So I'm not gonna hire this guy now, just because it wouldn't make financial sense at this point. But it looks like our warp drive is ready. We do have a level up, but I'm gonna save that for another time. So if I hit my map button again, looks like we're just outside of the circle, but I still should be able to warp there. So let's go ahead. I've got a couple of delivery missions that I have available to me. You'll notice that I have the option of warping with 3 energy cells or 192 energy. When these are highlighted in red, it means I don't have that. So I have 3 energy cells. I don't have 192 energy. And that is why I would still be able to warp there, because I stocked up on energy cells. I believe if I upped my energy up to that 192 or got closer, for example, which doesn't look like it goes up that much, you'd be able to warp there. But I have a small ship and I don't have a huge warp drive, so that's why you're seeing that. For now, I'm sticking to energy cells. Okay. Deliver packages to designated terminal and sector, trading station 5. Okay. Well, we just automatically got one for whatever reason. And the other one, we need to go to sector 5. So I'll head over there. Up my thrusters. The one downside of using shift as your thruster, if you're trying to run away and you hit Q to up your thruster while your shift is still engaged, you're actually going to go slower. It looks like either we're getting attacked or another ship's getting attacked down here. Oh, but there's actually a pretty large ship. Let's check it out. Red Skull. Let's help this merchant out. I guess my mercenary does not want to help out. we are literally too slow. So our thrusters are at max right now, and we are just not having it. Here's a debris field that I was talking about. If you haven't noticed, I really don't have a rhyme or reason to how I'm doing this video. I just figured it'd be a quick look. Alright, so here comes one right here. Speed booster. So our mercenary obviously is much stronger than we are at this point, which explains the cut that he's getting. So we just got a speed booster. Enables speed boost for high energy cost. Default shift. Okay, so I actually have a spot for that. I suppose we could equip it and see what it does. It looks like we already have one speed booster. This one's just gonna increase our energy to use it. So let's go ahead and hit shift, full thrusters. Wow, that destroys our energy level. But we go quite a bit faster. You can see your speed of travel somewhere. Thought I saw it somewhere. I may be overlooking it right now, but let's go ahead and lower the thrusters to 100 and see if that... Okay, so at 100 it doesn't take that much. So in actuality, adding that booster means that we can get the same speed of thrust as before without taking energy. So that is beneficial. And we are moving quite a bit faster now. We can go one up. Okay, so that uses a little bit of energy. You can see some of the larger ships here. These are mostly merchant ships. And then you'll see smaller civilian ships. But otherwise, we can check this out. Alright, so we see that we'll get 650 experience and 340 monetary units. I don't know what these are called here. I'm just going to go on credits. So we can hit complete quest. And it looks like both of those quests are available from the same location. So we made a little bit of money. Nothing crazy. But if we wanted to, this requires Space Pilot 2. Go to Sector 2319. We got a 2319. That is a reference to Monsters, Inc. Wanted Dead out of Life for piracy. So if we wanted to, we can actually take this. He is level 7. I'm going to wait on that probably. Just because I'm still like a level 5. These are the alien race. This is the Civil War we can get into. Let's hail them. Doesn't look like we can do much. I don't recall having the ability to choose your race or anything like that, but it is possible that that was an option and I just didn't pay attention to it. Got some more mining areas here. Let's take a look at some of the ships that they have available. And then I actually noticed that we passed a Pirate's Cove not far from here too, so maybe we could have a little showcase of some of the combat that's available. So let's go to trade ships. Alright, these are organized by class, so you'll see that class 1 is shuttle, 2 is yacht. The yacht's kind of just like a general purpose one, but you can kind of see some of the different changes here. So our yacht has obviously better armor, but the shuttles don't have as many weapon points, equipment points, or cargo capacity. You can see how those differ as you move up in the ladder here, as the price also increases. So it wouldn't take long to gather a little over 20,000 credits, but obviously the larger item ship that you get, the slower the speed. But I mean, this would be a decent upgrade to this Corvette style here. Increase in mass, a little decrease in agility, but look at that armor increase, the speed increase, and I mean, you're bumping up to 7 weapon hard points, a lot more equipment points and cargo, and up to 3 crew members and 4 passengers. So that's something I possibly would look forward to getting. Then it looks like we have other options here. Frigates, those are going to be kind of like those large merchant ships that we saw earlier. But you can get them in kind of like trade loadout or battle loadout. So you can see here, this one's got a huge cargo space, 15 passengers, 10 crew. And you can actually get ones that have docking stations built into them for additional drones. As you can see on this one, the Guardian, this one has a hangar for up to 4 drones, which will be able to be essentially more ships that can be dispatched from this ship. Pelican. So this Pelican, for example, can have 4 ships inside of it. The smaller, to my knowledge, the smaller ships would be able to dock in this location. Verizon, this one's 372,000 credits. Tons of weapon points, tons of cargo, 12 ships. Max size of ships that can fit in there are yachts. So, for example, the ship that we're currently piloting would be able to fit in there. And then as you can see too, we aren't actually able to buy these ships even if we had the money, because we have to have an honored level with Trader Syndicate. So if you played Elite, this is very similar to Elite in how that system works. Obviously it's not as in-depth as Elite. Better launch our ship here. Where's our mercenary? Come on. Launch all ships. There he is. He's coming. But I look forward to, you know, all of the options that we have available in this game. Like I said, this is kind of just a brief overview. If you guys want to see a Let's Play on it, I honestly would have a good time making this as a timeline of episodes of some sort. I think that would be really awesome. Maybe increase our relationship with the Syndicate and see what ships we have available to purchase later on. So we're gonna head to Pirate Hideout here. It is a level 8, so let's see if we can pick up anything on our scanner without getting too close. Looking pretty empty. You can strafe with A and D. But yeah, it doesn't look like a whole lot's going on there. Now, to inform you of how big this map system can be, you can actually change it so that it is procedurally generated. Essentially as much as you'd like. You can make it indefinite if you like. You can change the faction influence slider here so you can see it a little better. So these guys obviously are Syndicate. Looks like we have an unknown faction over here. Independent factions. But if you scroll out on this mapping system, you'll just see how vast this cluster of locations that you can travel to becomes. And to my knowledge, this will expand as you go out and venture into the multiple galaxies that are available. So I've pretty much only stayed in this immediate area, if that explains anything. Looks like we have something crazy going on over here. So yeah, continuing with my previous statement, that's it for this video. If you guys want to see more videos about this game, let me know. I'd be happy to record my playthroughs of this title and upload those as they become available. Until next time, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to subscribe for notifications for future videos. Thanks for joining me.